Good evening, parents and guardians, and welcome to the 2021 school year. My name is Mr. DeLucca, and I'm going to be your child's physical education and health teacher for the school year. I want to start off by saying that despite the extraordinary times that we are in, our goal this year is to provide the same education and opportunities for your child to be academically successful. I want to extend my thanks to you as parents and guardians for your continued support in your child's education. And let's work together and strive to make this a extremely successful and fun school year as best as we can. So I'm going to jump in to my presentation that I'm going to share with you guys today. This presentation is going to provide you with all of the information that you are going to need to provide your child with support throughout our our virtual instruction. So let me start off here by, again, welcoming you to the school year. And my welcome note here is welcome to the school year, though it's a little different than what we're used to. We are going to strive to make it just as impactful for myself and for your students, or for your children, and for you guys. So I want to give you a little bit of my background so you guys can get to know me a little bit. Starting with my education, I graduated from high school in South Amboy, and there I was a three-sport athlete. I played soccer, basketball, and softball for my school. I was a honor roll student and a member of the National Honor Society for 3 out of my 4 years. Moving on to college, I graduated from Kane University in 2013 with a bachelor's in education. My personal background, I'm one of 4 children. I have 3 brothers. I have some pictures that I'm sharing with you of my family and a little bit of my personal life. I have 2 amazing little dogs that are like my fur babies, and they're very close brothers. I'm an avid beachgoer. I love the beach. If I could spend my entire life at the beach, I would. I am an animal rescuer. I volunteer a lot of my spare time to animal rescues around New Jersey and helping animals in need. And as you can see from my pictures, I'm a very big hockey fan. More specifically, a very big Devils fan. I spend a lot of time following the team and attending the games, and it just is a big part of who I am personally. My professional background, I've been teaching physical education and health for 6 years, 4 of which are in Irvington. And in addition to that, I am the head coach for the varsity girls soccer and girls lacrosse teams at Irvington High School. So I spend a lot of time with your students in the middle school, at the middle school age, and then it's really nice to see them, to watch them grow, and then hopefully they come and play for me as athletes as well. So I do enjoy my time as a coach just as much as I enjoy my time as a teacher. I like to be a part of this community as much as I can, and help these students strive both academically and athletically as well. So we're going to jump into our attendance and grading for this class. This here is the uniform grading policy, both for physical education and health. So when we look to the left at physical education, 60% of your child's grade is going to be based on participation. That includes attendance, contributions to discussions, classwork, projects, things of that nature. So there will be about 10 assignments dedicated to participation grades in physical education. 20% of the physical education grade will be dedicated to independent assignments and projects. Because we are virtual, a lot of what we used to do, or what we usually do in physical education, unfortunately cannot be done. So we're going to be dedicating a lot more time to working on independent assignments and projects, focusing more on sports and the history of sports, theories of sports, positionings, things like that. And then 20% is also dedicated to quizzes, which will be on the information that we cover throughout the marking period. And then looking over at health, pretty similar to phys ed. The only difference is 20% of the grade will be for written tests. Again, covering the material that we will be going over throughout the marking period. They will be evaluated with written tests. There will be independent assignment and projects as well in health, but that will be kind of lumped into the 60% participation grade. So again, that depends on attendance, contributions to discussions and lessons and such, and also roping in classwork and independent assignments there. Okay, so that's how your kids are going to be graded in both physical education and health. We are currently in the health unit with my students, so they will be following this uniform grading policy. And then once we move to marking period 2, where we can jump back into physical education, they will be following the uniform grading policy on the left. Okay, but it's important to understand how the grade is broken down. The bulk of their grade is going to depend on their participation and their attendance every single day. We take attendance every day. So that is based on the students' attendance in Google Meet and their overall engagement as well. We don't want to go just based on who is signing into the Google Meet, but who has their camera on and who is engaged in the assignment and in the lesson. So that's how we are going to be following our attendance. Looking at the schedule, I'm sure that the other teachers that you are going to be seeing tonight will be sharing this information as well, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. But our 9 periods are broken down based on this schedule. Each class is about 30 minutes long, with the exception of the 3 lunch periods, which are a little bit longer to allow the students to have a proper break in between their classes. So the first 3 periods are about half-hour long. Period 4, 5, and 6 go just a little bit longer, and then back to the 30-minute schedule for period 7, 8, and 9. All teachers from 2:15 to 2:51 are going to have virtual office hours. This is the time that if your child needs any extra help or has any questions on the material that was covered for that day or any previous day before that, they can reach out to their teacher. Most teachers will be live via Google Meet during those virtual office hours. Others will be available by email. But that is the time that we dedicate to our students to get extra help or to answer any questions that they may have on any of the material. So if any parents would want this to be shared with them, feel free. At the end, I'm going to share my email, so feel free to email me requesting any of this material that I'm sharing in the presentation, and I would be happy to share it with you. All right, so our virtual learning expectations. Every class period, I spend at least a minute or two just, again, reiterating the Google Meet etiquette to the students. So this is exactly what I share with them. So you guys can get a little glimpse of what the students are expected to do when they are live on Google Meet. So our cameras must always be on and our mics will always be muted unless I instruct them to turn them on. Cameras on is a very big, important thing. Again, given the circumstances we are in, that we can't be in a classroom together face to face, the cameras are important to provide us that face-to-face interaction that we are missing from being in the classroom together. It also is a way for me to monitor and measure those students who are engaged and following along with the lesson. So it is an important conversation to have with your child. That cameras must be on and they must be in an appropriate area of the home so that they can have their cameras on. If there's anybody or any parent, again, that has concerns or has any questions about this policy, again, once I share my email, my contact information, feel free to reach out to me. But policy states we do need to have our cameras on. That includes teachers and students alike. So that is an important conversation to have with your child when you have the opportunity to. Next one there is set yourself up in a quiet, workable space. I encourage my students to try and find a spot in the home that they're able to be away from distraction and away from background noise and background other things that are going on. So if they have a nice space that they can set up and spread their things out and work, I encourage that. Number 3, act appropriately. Again, this is our classroom for time to be determined. This is our classroom. So the students are expected to be dressed appropriately, to be acting appropriately when cameras are on. Everything that we would expect them to do in a classroom setting, we expect them to do in a virtual classroom setting as well. Make sure that Google Classroom and BrainPop tabs are open. We utilize Google Classroom and BrainPop. Like 90% of our lessons are based around those two things. I will quickly jump to BrainPop just so you guys can see a little bit of what we do every day. This is the BrainPop website that we use. All of the subjects are listed here. We focus on health and social emotional learning. So there's a number of topics that are in our curriculum that we follow using BrainPop. So this is what the website looks like. Each of your children have their own login that they should be able to get into, no problem. So far, we haven't had any major issues with using BrainPop in the classroom. The kids have been very good about being able to sign in and locate their assignments. So this is a big chunk of what we do in both physical education and health. And then we have a do now every morning that will be listed in Google Classroom. Again, the reason why we want our Google Classroom open is to be able to jump quickly from program to program. So they will have a do now every morning that we spend about 5 minutes working on and discussing. And then if they have any questions, I do encourage them to type it in the chat box as the lesson goes on, and that way we can answer the questions without any major distractions. If they have a question that they need to ask out loud, then I will instruct them to turn their microphones on and they can ask the question that way as well. So this is what is expected of your child when they are live in their Google Meet sessions. Google Classroom, I won't spend too much time on this, but again, it's a program that we use every single day. That is how I deliver my information to your children as far as what assignments go, what the codes are for our Google Meet sessions. So everything that they need to know is posted in Google Classroom. So there is just a very short etiquette that we want them to follow, some expectations we want them to follow. They're expected to check the Google Classroom stream every morning for any information that they may need for that day. It's important that they pay attention to all the information that's there, read everything very carefully so that they don't miss any information. They can use the comment tool in Google Classroom to ask questions or express any concerns about any material being shared. Again, we just ask that they use it respectfully and appropriately if they are going to be commenting on any material or any posts in Google Classroom. I do my best to keep my Google Classroom organized and user-friendly so that they can find all of their assignments and material that they need. They know that it's their responsibility to keep up with their assignments and to submit all of their assignments on time. Parents do have access if they would like to the Google Classroom. I can send an invite link. Again, just reach out to me via email if you would like to be invited to be able to access your child's Google Classroom, and you can kind of see what's posted in there, what materials they're focusing on, what topics we're covering. All the information that I share with the students, you would be able to have as well. So if any of you are interested or have not done so already and would like to be invited, please just send me an email with your email address and I would be happy to do that for you. This is my email right here. Feel free to take a screenshot, write it down, whatever you need to do to have it and have access to it. It's kdeluca@irvington.k12.nj.us. I will be available as much as I possibly can Monday through Friday between school hours. Like I did mention, I do coach, so we are currently in season. So between the hours of 3 and 6, I am unavailable. But if you send an email, I would be happy to check it after 6 o'clock and try and do my best to answer that as quickly as possible. So again, if you have any questions or any concerns about anything we covered tonight, feel free to email me. If you would like any of the resources that I have in my presentation, feel free to email me. I'd be happy to share any of those documents with you. Again, thank you very much for your continued support. We rely heavily on our parents and guardians, and it's great to have you guys involved. Again, despite the circumstances we are in, we all share the same goal. We want to give our students and our children the best opportunity to be academically successful. So that's our goal, and I hope we can share that goal together and work together to make this a very successful school year. Thank you again, and I look forward to hearing from all of you.